Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Lamplight City, the steampunk-ish detective adventure game that is so much fun to play. Hey, my name is Darwin and I play video games, and thank you very much for joining me today. So, we asked a lot of questions in our last episode. We got a few suspects, but we really still have more stuff to do. We need to find this baby, right? So we're back at home and we're going to see if our lovely wife Adelaide can help us out here. We are looking for this Roland guy. It also says to investigate Solomon's stitching, so there's more there, obviously. Figuring out how this game pieces things together. We do have Malcolm Harris and Arthur Devens as suspects, but I really want to find this baby, and I think Roland is the way to do that. So, Miss Adelaide, wife dear, tell us what you know.
Addie?
What do you need, dear?
Aww.
I'd forgotten how good you are at écarté. You absolutely destroyed me the other night.
As I recall, you used to hold your own pretty well.
We should have another match soon. That way I can hone my skills.
Yes, we should. As long as you can concentrate, I'm sure you'll get as good as you used to be.
Aww.
How are things going with you?
I'm a bit worried about some rumors I've been hearing.
Oh?
They're saying it won't be long before automated hairdressing devices are available to the public. Once that happens, it's going to be tough for me to keep getting jobs.
Automated hairdressing devices? How would those even work? Do they read your mind?
Doubtful. More than likely they'll have some kind of settings or just give everyone the same type of hairstyle.
I wouldn't worry too much, Addie. You're the best hairdresser in town. I doubt people will place their trust in some contraption over you.
You underestimate my clientele, Miles. They're mostly all rich socialites whose hobbies are buying the most expensive and modern things just to outdo their peers. They'll be sending their servants to line up for days before the things are released.
Perhaps, but they'll come running back to you once the machines stop working. You'll see.
I certainly hope so.
Don't become a Redite, Addie. Don't do it.
You weren't kidding about business picking up. You're averaging what, about 3 appointments per day?
More like 5. I told you, debutante ball season's busy.
Doesn't it get tiresome?
Not really. You'd be surprised at the sort of gossip I hear from my clients. I don't know what it is, but they just open up to me and tell me all kinds of personal things. You sure you don't want me to give you a trim?
I'm fine for now, dear. Thank you.
I wonder if we do get a trim later in the game.
I can't believe the nerve of that narrow-minded old cow.
Who, Mrs. Delacroix? She's actually one of my nicest clients.
I don't know how you can tolerate her. If I were you, I'd strike her off my list.
If I did that for every one of my clients who thought the same as her, I'd be out of a job. That's just the way it is.
Maybe so, but it doesn't make it any less infuriating. Have you ever heard of a group called the Spectre Society?
I think I had a client once who mentioned it. There's some kind of spiritualist group, right?
So it would seem.
I don't really know anything else about them, sorry.
And here we go. Do you know about Roland?
Addie, did you ever work with or meet a musician in Gascon named Roland?
Roland?
Yes, a piano player.
Oh, of course. That's gotta be Roland Devereaux. Yes, I know him. I'd just as soon never hear the name again, if I'm being honest.
That bad, huh?
He's just an arrogant little twerp, completely full of himself, thinks he's God's gift to music. He really isn't very good. Misses notes like you wouldn't believe. Used to throw me off the few times I sang with him.
Well, he's a person of interest in my current case. Any idea where I can find him?
Last I heard, he was playing a regular gig at the Crimson Cat, but that was a few years ago. If he's not still there, they might know where he went.
Thanks, dear. That's incredibly helpful.
My pleasure.
I'll let you get back to your book.
All right, Addie for the win. So we should be able to go to the Crimson Cat now. Maybe we can sing a tune.
I'll see you later, Addie.
I look forward to your return.
Aw, they're so sweet. There we go. Crimson Cat.
Ah, the Crimson Cat. One of my favorite underground clubs. Ooh, I spent some wild nights here. Which reminds me, I wonder if Stefan is still working the bar these days.
Yeah.
This place has been around for quite some time. That well-dressed feline is Red, the official mascot. Good old Bollingworth Ale. Unlike so many other things in life, it never lets you down. Well, not while you're drinking it anyway. The next morning is another story entirely. Attention customers. Use of Dr. Tennyson's figure pills while under the influence of alcohol may cause loss of consciousness. It's nice to see this establishment looking out for its patrons. Seagrave's Stasholine, high-quality mustache wax. You know, I always wondered what you'd look like with a mustache. Looks like they've got Bollingworth, Millhopper, and Brooklyn Lager. Not a bad set of beers. Quite the selection. It rivals even the Angel. Fine beer always served here. Good to know. Call me old-fashioned, but I've always felt the piano should be played by an actual human. These automated ones just don't have any soul. Looks like a view of Claremont Street with St. Denis Cathedral in the background.
Anything else we can look at? So I guess we talked to the young man.
Excuse me, are you Roland Devereaux?
Who's asking?
Miles Fordham, private investigator. I wanted to ask you some questions.
Sure, whatever you say.
So, I take it you're a musician?
A musician? Am I a musician? Man, you insult me. Ask anyone who hears me tickle those ivories. They'll all tell you. I'm doing the Lord's work. I am more than just a mere musician. I have a purpose on this earth, and that is to move people, to bring joy to their souls.
And this is after you've set the piano back to manual, right?
I don't expect a layman like yourself to understand, least of all a private eye. Your job is exploiting people's misery. I don't know how you can even look at yourself.
Oh, it's fairly easy. But then I expect you've never gone more than 5 minutes without looking at yourself.
I already don't like this guy.
Are you acquainted with a woman named Miriam Harris?
Sure, acquainted. That's definitely a word you could use. But then, I'm also acquainted with about 20 other women in this borough alone.
Fascinating. Could you tell me about Miriam, please?
Sure, that woman could talk the ear off a cornstalk.
Oh? She said you didn't talk much.
That's right, I don't. She talks plenty for the both of us. Always going on about how sick she is of the phony high society types, how glad she is to be with someone real. But hey, she's loaded. And she's pretty good in bed, so it's a nice little thing we got going on.
My goodness.
Are you aware that Mrs. Harris's son was kidnapped last night?
What? Kidnapped?
Yes. Do you know anything about it?
No, not at all. I mean, I knew she had a son. She wouldn't shut up about him. Why would anyone take someone else's child voluntarily? Are people that desperate to have their own little brats?
My goodness.
I assume you're not a fan of children?
Let's just put it this way. I would rather have a hot poker shoved up my ass repeatedly than ever have to deal with a child.
Well, that's quite specific.
There is no way in hell I'm going to tie myself down and give up this great life of mine. If this lady's kid's been stolen, she'll probably leave her husband and want a replacement brat. I'm not gonna be that sucker, that's for sure.
My goodness.
Thanks, friend. You've really opened my eyes. I think the time has come to exit stage left from Mrs. Harris's life.
You're a real piece of work, Roland.
Yeah, I know.
I think that's quite enough for now.
It's about time.
Did we get anything from that? So why does it still say investigate Solomon stitching?
Welcome back, Mr. Fordham.
Right,
I don't think
Angela?
there's anything.
Nope.
I'll be going now.
May the
There's nothing here.
Can we talk?
Go on, I'm listening.
That's it, I think.
Then you'd better get back to it.
Nothing here.
Hello again, Mr. Fordham.
I have some questions for you, Mrs. Davis.
All right.
Mrs. Davis, have you ever had Linda visit you at the Harris Manor?
Oh, no, of course not.
Then would you care to explain your note to her in the Spectre Society guest book?
Please, Mr. Fordham, I didn't mean to lie to you. It's just that it gets so lonely by myself in the house at night. So every now and then, I invite Linda to come over for tea and some company.
I see. And when was the last time this happened?
2 nights ago? Please don't tell Mr. and Mrs. Harris, Mr. Fordham. If they found out what I was doing, they'd have me dismissed without a reference.
I won't, but I'd very much like to speak with Mrs. Walker. Do you have any idea where I can find her?
All I know is that she works as a seamstress at a shop in Lyon, but I don't know the name. I'm sorry, I can't be of any more help than that.
Ooh. Well,
Thank
now
you
that's
for your time,
interesting.
Mrs. Davis.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Ah, that. She works.
I'll be going now, Mrs. Davis.
May the spirits guide your path.
Oh yes, they are guiding me to Solomon Stitching. Let's go back.
Welcome back. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Oh yes, you can, sir. Where's Linda Walker?
I've got some more questions for you.
All right, I'll do my best to answer them.
I like this guy.
Do you by chance employ a seamstress named Linda Walker?
I do, yes.
Is she here?
No, she has the day off today, but she'll be in tomorrow.
Would it be possible to have her address?
Begging your pardon, but why should I give it to you?
Oh, does it matter?
I'm a private investigator, and it's crucial to this case.
Well, as I said, she'll be here tomorrow. You can ask her then.
It really is a matter of some urgency.
I'm sure it can wait a day.
But
If it were really that urgent, I would think the police would be involved, not a private investigator. I'm not obligated to tell you anything, so please, let's move on before I lose my patience.
please, Mr. Solomon, it's extremely important that I get Mrs. Walker's address.
So you said, but why should I?
Is this really gonna work?
I know I said I was a private investigator before, but there's a more delicate reason I want to speak with Mrs. Walker.
Oh?
Her son, Alexander, and mine were schoolmates. I just found a book he lent my son, and I wanted to return it. I've been trying to track her down for ages, and only just found out where she worked.
Oh, I see. It was a terrible tragedy what happened with her boy and her husband. I know how private Mrs. Walker is, but I'm sure she would appreciate you returning her son's book. All right. She lives at 403 St. Agnes Street.
Remember when you couldn't even bring yourself to trick people into thinking their shoelaces were untied? You've come a long way, Miles.
I'll be taking my leave of you now, Mr. Solomon.
Very good.
Huh. I can't believe that actually worked. Would have figured this would have put us in the territory of having to accuse the wrong person. Walker residence.
Some people would call that humming and hissing the sound of progress. I'd call it annoying. It says here that Linda Walker is in the upstairs apartment, and someone named Douglas Emafiel is under the stairs. His machine is quiet. It's already gone up considerably in my estimation.
You could learn a thing or two from it, Bill.
Huh. Go straight in. I think we go to be more sneaky.
What? Who are you? Are you from the Steamworks?
Afraid not, sir.
Damn. Oh well, what can I do for you?
Why did you think I was from the Steamworks?
Because I contacted them a few days ago when my boiler broke, and nobody has come to repair it yet. I should have known better. Those fools always take their time, if they even bother showing up at all. Meanwhile, I'm stuck in here with nothing but cold water. If I catch pneumonia and die, you'll know who to blame.
Do you know Linda Walker?
Of course. She lives upstairs. Who's asking?
I'm Miles Fordham. I'm trying to find Linda so I can speak with her.
What's your business with her?
I'm afraid that's private.
Well, she's out right now. You'll have to come back another time if you want to visit her.
Have you got any idea when Mrs. Walker will be back?
Not for a few days. She told me she was going away for a bit. Ah, that reminds me. She asked me to water her plants while she was gone. Just need to remember where I put the spare key.
Did you say something about having a spare key to Mrs. Walker's apartment?
Sure, I'm her landlord. I look after the place when she's gone. Got a bit of a green thumb, that one, so she puts me in charge of watering her plants. The trip up is a bit of a pain, though. My hips aren't what they used to be.
I'm a private detective, and it's of the utmost importance that I get that key from you.
Right. Private detective. I don't have to do anything you say. You're not really the law. So, nice try. But I'm not betraying Mrs. Walker's trust so easily.
He says that now, but I'm willing to bet he'd do it if it benefited him in some way.
Sorry to bother you, sir. I'll just be on my way.
Can we get in? Probably not.
Nobody home. Now what?
Boiler is now selectable.
Miles, what are you doing? You don't know the first thing about steam engine repair.
It can't be that hard to work out.
If you're serious about getting it fixed, I'd suggest looking for someone who knows about this sort of thing first. But if you just want to charge in blindly, be my guest. Find fuel source.
All right. So we need to get the pressure.
It won't go any further in that direction.
So we have small valves.
Find fuel source.
It won't go any further in that direction.
These pipes are connected to the flue. They must heat up the water in this overgrown tea kettle. Find fuel source. I don't think you should leave this thing unattended before you've made any repairs.
Who might know?
I've got some more questions, Mr. LeFay.
Go ahead, then.
Do you know anything about fixing a steam boiler?
Bit of an odd question, isn't it?
I thought perhaps you might have occasion to fix your heater.
I do, but when the occasion comes, I usually just call a repairman, or someone from the steamworks.
Fair enough. I think that's all for now.
So not him.
hello.
These are all books on.
All right.
I'll let you.
All right.
I'll be going now, Mrs. Davis.
May the
Can we talk?
Go on, I'm listening.
Can we go over my current case?
Of course. What have you got?
You wouldn't happen to know anything about repairing boilers, would you?
Oh, sure. I fix 10 of them every day before breakfast.
Just thought I'd ask. That's enough about the case for now.
Okay.
That's it, I think.
Then you'd better get back to it.
Ah, home at last.
Welcome home.
Addie?
What do you need, dear?
Addie, you wouldn't happen to have any manuals on repairing steam engines in your library, would you?
Thinking of changing careers?
No, there's just a boiler that needs repairing and I need to figure out how to do it.
A boiler? What kind of engine is it?
I'm not sure, but it had Whitney 200 embossed on the side.
Oh, of course. That's one of the most common steam engines around, used in practically everything. In fact, the player piano at the Firkin and Fryer had one, and that thing was always going out of alignment. If that's all that's happened with this one, I know how to fix it. Used to have to do it all the time.
Adelaide Fordham, you are just full of surprises.
Where is this boiler?
Not terribly far. It's a townhouse on St. Agnes in Livingston.
Let's go then. I could use some fresh air.
Go, Addie.
Not quite a player piano, but it shouldn't be too tough. Would you like me to walk you through it, or would you prefer I fix it myself?
Please, tell me what I need to do.
All right, let's take a closer look. Right, the first thing you'll want to do is open up the firebox door and light that coal on fire. And it'll be a good idea to open the engine hatch too, so you can keep an eye on it.
That was easy enough. What's next?
Now you want to open the flue and close the fire door so the water in the tank starts boiling. Once that happens, steam will enter the dome, and that big pressure indicator will start going up. Assuming the steam valve is completely shut, of course.
And if it isn't?
Then the pressure will be transferred into the engine and the small indicator will go up. You want to use the valves to balance out the pressure and get just the right amount into the engine before starting it up.
And what is the right amount?
If I remember correctly, it was 3 on the small gauge. Less than that and the engine won't start. Any higher will tear the thing apart.
All right, here goes nothing.
Oh, these puzzles are old school. There we go.
Nice work, Miles. Maybe if the private investigator thing doesn't work out, we can start our own engine repair service. Boilers are a lot like people, you know. They need to let off steam occasionally, or else they explode. You'd do well to remember that, dear. Anyway, I need to be off for my appointment with Mrs. Lupone. I'll see you tonight.
Alright, and we've gone a bit over our time here, but that boiler was just so much fun to fix. Hey, if you like this video, please like it. Please subscribe to the channel, spread the word, enjoy the rest of the content that I am working diligently to produce for you all. My name is Darwin, and I, of course, will see you on the flip side.